The English Defence League say they've postponed their planned march through Redditch this Easter. A message on their website says,
"It appears that there is to be a multi-Christian faith event on the same day. Pastor Jim Hidderley, spokesperson for this event, has spoken with our regional organisers and requested that we postpone our demonstration. Given that the Easter period is of such significance to Christians, we have agreed. It is this kind of cooperation between the EDL and local communities that goes unreported by the mainstream media. We do not intend to cause division or disharmony within local communities, but only to raise awareness about a problem that exists right across the country. A problem that cuts across race, culture and communities. It hurts the very thing that Islam says it stands for, families."
Labour Redditch Borough Councillor Luke Stevens has set up the Facebook group Redditch Against Racism last week when he found out about this. Luke Stevens, thank you for coming on this morning. Your reaction to the cancellation, or the postponement certainly, of this English Defence League march?
Well, very happy to see that it's off. Slightly nervous that this is just a bit of a publicity stunt to get, that share of respectability. That we know they're planning to come back as well, because they were on the Facebook. We had a bit of communication with them last night, because they still see that Redditch, like many places in the country, has a problem. I'm not quite sure what that problem is, but they seem to persist on saying that we do.
Why are you so against the English Defence League having a march? I mean, after all, free speech is what we stand for in this country, isn't it?
No, absolutely. I appreciate there are people in the country that, are frustrated with certain issues, and I would never sort of demean that. It's just the English Defence League are a violent organisation of violence. I mean, I think as soon as you start going down that road, you lose the right to that freedom of speech.
Well, we've not got the English Defence League here to defend themselves, so I'll put the point here. I mean, there's evidence, really, that all they want to do, if you take their statement at face value, is to peacefully march through Redditch and make their point, so that they're not planning on any violence. So surely you have to take them at face value, don't you?
I think that'd be great if you could. I mean, but we've looked into it a little bit further and gone onto the Facebook and gone onto the personal, pages of some of the members that plan on protesting, and things that they're saying on there contradict what their public persona is. I mean, and I think if you look across the country, the EDL that say that they're coming there for peaceful purposes, and it never turns out that way. They go there to divide communities and to create tension. I think to give them an air of respectability is exactly what they want.
How have people in Redditch responded to, obviously, the fact that it was going to happen and it was only postponed fairly late last night? What have you been hearing from people in Redditch?
I think the first thing we heard was shock about it, just a sense of, the big thing I kept hearing was why Redditch. It never quite understood. We don't really have a problem, despite the EDL persisting we do. In terms of it being cancelled, obviously it being quite short notice, but I think there's a sense of happiness that it's not going ahead, but cautiousness moving forward and making sure perhaps we're strong in place before they do come back.
We should watch this space on that story. Luke Stevens, thank you. He's the Labour Redditch Borough Councillor. Tommy Robinson is a spokesman for the English Defence League. Thank you for speaking to us this morning. Can you just confirm that you have postponed, and can you tell us why?
Yeah, we have postponed. Basically, we was contacted by a local pastor who explained that there's been a lot of organisation gone in for them enjoying their weekend in Redditch, which they do every year, to celebrate Christianity, and that was enough. As soon as we heard that, we were always up for negotiation, but we don't understand why the council didn't tell us this, because the council basically just told the pastor that we're extremists, which we're not. We're ordinary, fed-up people.
But just if I can stop you for a second, did you not realise it's Easter? It's a Christian festival.
Yeah, but we didn't, mate. In most towns and cities up and down this country, the town that I come from, Luton, there's no Christian festival in Luton anymore. There's no Easter Bonnet Parade in Luton anymore.
Yeah, but it's in the diary. Everyone knows when Easter is.
Yeah, we know it's when Easter. What I'm saying is there's not usually parades anymore, because usually they're cancelled. In my town, there hasn't been one. So there's not one in Luton. We don't even expect there to be one. And as soon as we heard there was one from the pastor, which the council should have just told us, the police should have told us, we'd have cancelled straight away. As soon as he contacted us, then obviously, of course, we're cancelled.
OK. Sorry, time is relatively tight, Mr. Robinson. So just tell us why you chose Redditch.
Because we've been inundated with people from Redditch. Inundated with them from the local community who are fed up, saying that there's problems there with Muslim paedophile gangs that are yet to be tackled. We're seeing them tackled in most other cities now across the country.
How many is inundated? Just to try and give us an idea. I mean, people can exaggerate.
Hundreds and hundreds of local people contacting us saying, to be honest, mate, we get hundreds of people from every single town and city saying, come to our town, highlighting local things, highlighting different grooming gangs, highlighting different problems around Islam that are in their community, whether it be to mosques that they don't want. And we're a movement that has to go where the people want us. And in the Midlands, we've got a lot of contact from Redditch, and a lot of people from that area are asking us to come to that area.
But aren't you inciting racial hatred by singling out Islam on your website? I was looking on...
Inciting racial hatred. What race is Islam then, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it's religious hatred then.
Oh, sorry, religious hatred. But we're inciting religious hatred by how? By opposing an ideology. So as soon as you talk out, this is the problem you have, because this is why people have been suppressed and silenced for 15 to 20 years. Islam is a fascist ideology which it shows no tolerance towards other faiths. And all we're doing is highlighting it and saying how people feel. And if you're not allowed freedom of speech and to express how you feel in this country, then it's gone.
Well, that's why we're having the conversation, and that's exactly why we're speaking.
You're asking if I'm inciting religious hatred by somehow... we're not against all Muslims. I'm the first person. I've grown up in Luton Town. I'm the first person to say that some of the people I've grown through, some of the best people I've met through growing up are Muslim. But there is a problem with their ideology. There's a problem with it integrating. There's a problem with paedophilia within it, which we're seeing across the whole country. There's no groups of Christian men raping Muslim kids.
Well, hang on, we're going off onto complete tangents here, and let's just.
You asked why we're coming. I'm just telling you.
Well,
these are the problems that are out there, whether you like it or not.
So let's have some, Mr. Robinson. Let's have some evidence. You mentioned paedophilia. What evidence have you got?
Well, Islam is paedophilia. They've put the fact that the Prophet Muhammad had sex with a 9-year-old child when he was 56. That's paedophilia in modern Britain, but we accept that was 1400 years ago. We'll
end the conversation if we're going to. Yeah, I know, but
you're speaking the truth. But this is the problem you have. You want to censor it. You've asked me why there is paedophilia within Islam. I'm explaining why, and now you want to end the conversation.
Right.
It's just because you're fearful. Because you're fearful of what might happen and the backlash, which is what the problem is across the country.
Right. Let's just talk about the future here briefly, because as I say, time is going to beat us. Are you going to be coming back to Redditch? We understand you've postponed it. When are you coming back? When are you planning to come back?
We're not sure yet, to be honest. We've got a busy calendar. So